Good morning. So last night you should have submitted your, quote, My College Life, end quote, presentation with your Canva background and the 2 slides in the presentation. Today I'm going to assign another presentation to you, but we're going to mix things up a little bit. So as you can see from my screen here, this is called the Mini History Lesson comic. And this is going to be due on Monday, the 14th. So in Classroom, you will find the assignment sheet, which is this. So basically, presentation software is utilized in many different ways, not just for giving presentations. So today you're going to have a little bit of fun and use slides to tell a story, compose a narrative about an historical event. So you're going to make a comic strip out of a Google Slides presentation. The first thing you'll need to do is to sign up for one of the 12 events from history. There's a sign-up sheet. We'll get to that in a minute. So this is on a first-come, first-served basis, and you are not to remove someone else's name from the topic if they've already chosen a topic that you wanted to sign up for. Next, you're going to put together a 10-plus slide presentation on your chosen event. You will have at least 2 characters throughout your comic strip, and they're going to talk to each other via speech bubbles. Their dialogue is to obviously center around the historic event. You're going to incorporate a vocabulary word from each side of the vocabulary box, and we'll get to that. So there's list 1 and list 2 within one table, within a box. And you're going to use one word from list 1 and one word from list 2. That's up to you which ones you're going to use. So your requirements for the presentation are, again, you're to have at least 2 characters. You can have more. You're going to mention the historical event by name. You're going to have dialogue between your 2 characters. You're going to choose the 2 words, again, one from each list. You're going to define each of these vocabulary words and use it appropriately in your dialogue. As far as your slideshow backgrounds, you're going to have one background that you're going to make in Canva. Obviously, it needs to be topic appropriate. You're going to have one background that you're going to import from the internet. So again, make sure it's appropriate. Make sure it's appropriate for your historical event. You're going to need to get the graphics URL, so you could make it like font size 6 and run it along one of the edges of the URL. That's fine. You're also going to animate each of your characters in each of their speech bubbles. Each of their speech bubbles. And you're going to utilize word art and shapes where appropriate. So like here I've got a word art as well as a shape. It's a comic strip. Have some fun with it. So you could do something like this or however you want to put together your comic strip. You're also going to have slide transitions between each one of your shapes. So down here you'll see are the lists. So list 1 and list 2. So you're going to choose one from list 1 and one word from list 2. So list 1 is osmosis, photosynthesis, and factorial. So choose one of those words, and then you're also going to choose one of these words. Versammlung, Bromir, Soiree. So again, one of these words, one of these words. This is a word that was German, so that you could go to, or is German, you could go out to Google Translate and figure out what this word means. So this one's German. S means this word is Spanish, and the F means this is French. So figure out what the definitions are. You're going to have to give the definition during the presentation, and you're going to have to use it in context. Let me give you an example of a comic strip that's already been done. Let me put this in full screen mode for you. So here's your 2 characters. There's a robot and a penguin, and this is science concepts. So there's a slide transition. Here's some animations. Here's the speech bubbles. Hey penguin, what are you doing? Just studying. Slide transition, animation. So why do you have a book on your head? Slide transition. bubble animation. Well, it's for science class, so I thought osmosis might work. Slide transition. Here's the word, and here's the definition. Okay, so it's something along those lines that you're going to do. Obviously, yours is going to be longer. This was done by an elementary student, so I expect yours to be a bit stepped up from this. Okay, so again, the Unit 3 mini history lesson comic strip is out in Google Classroom, as is the history lesson. So here's your list of events. So we've got George Washington crossing the Delaware, Neil Armstrong landing on the moon. We've got the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Maybe you want to do the Boston Tea Party. How about the Lewis and Clark expedition? So anything from the Lewis and Clark expedition, you know, where they discovering new spots or what have you. The Wright brothers' first flight. How about the Pilgrims landing on Plymouth Rock? Or the Salem witch trials? You could choose Benjamin Franklin when he discovered electricity. Or how about Thomas Edison inventing the light bulb? The Ford Model T first appeared on the market on this date. So I'm actually going to add 2 more in here for you. So you could look at Tim Lee Berners and the founding of the Internet, since we just had that anniversary. And topic 13, you could do Sesame Street when it was first introduced. So that you could have, say, the producers, or you could have Bert and Ernie talking about when they first moved to Sesame Street, or Big Bird and I don't know, Oscar the Grouch. So here are your topics that you are going to do an historical event for. So you're obviously going to click in here and choose one of these and then start building it. So again, let me look at the calendar here. So that's today. I'm assigning this. Tomorrow is going to be a production day. Friday is going to be a production day. And then Monday is when it's going to be due. All right, if you have any questions, you can email me, but as I'm on a business trip, I'm not sure exactly how much free time I will have. Good luck. Have fun with this. And I'll see you guys on Monday.